Sup, you Eurovision fools! Matt and Roy, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel, and all of the Semi 1 semi-finalists have rehearsed. Now we're moving on to Semi 2, and first up in the running, I think you all know it, the Rasmus, Jezebel. And they brought a lot of balloons with them on stage. And did it work? Was it too much? I want to hear from you, Roy. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, they brought a whole lot of balloons, and they're not like some small balloons that you get like from the store or when you're a kid, like you buy a balloon
The birthday
from.
party.
Yeah, exactly, like a birthday party balloon. They are massive, like balloons that are bigger than maybe the band members even, and it makes for a very interesting visual. At first, even Lauri, the lead singer, is holding a small balloon, like a little kid, maybe a bit like from It, for example, the horror movie, where you have like a balloon and he lets it loose and it floats in the air a little bit. That is an issue where I can see them improve a little bit, because sometimes that balloon didn't really go up very high, so you could still like see the rope when Lauri was like the focus was putting back onto Lauri. Um, but that's a few things that they can work on. For the rest, a lot of energy was put into this song, and during the rehearsals, we did see when they go in the back of the balloons, because they will walk through it, like the cameraman with Lauri. At first, it was a little bit blocked, like you couldn't really see Lauri very well. And then when they went to the guitarist, and you couldn't really see her insanely well as well, because of the balloon kind of blocking her a bit. And you also saw like a shadow of that in the balloon. So there were a few issues here and there with those balloons being in the way and the camera work not quite working in that way. But I think the last run through, it was a lot better already. There's a lot of pyro in the ending, which is always really nice for a rock tune like this. Yeah, Lauri's vocals might not be as punchy as you might want them to be. But overall, I think this staging really fits what they're trying to go for with this song.
Yeah. It's physically actually quite demanding, his performance, because as Connor pointed out, by the third run through, he was sweating quite a bit, actually, that poor guy. But yeah, as you already pointed out, some of the things that I was going to point out as well. The balloons also, I think it was the second run through, correct me if I'm wrong, Roy, is where actually half of them actually move up, like more closer towards the ceiling, a bunch of them. So it spreads them out a little. Because I said before, there are so many balloons, and they're all of them are black except for one is lit. I don't know. There's probably some meaning behind it, but it seems random to me that all of them are dark and black except for one of them. But a lot of them just start going up, and it really makes it spread out, because it feels almost too crowded and too cramped in there at some point, especially when he starts walking through them. And that got better and better with each run through there, that you couldn't see the guitarist that was standing in there, the girl, and he was even like trying to get through them a little bit, like dodging them, and that has gotten better, and I think it gets better and better. Vocally, yes, his voice getting strained at some point. He was pushing too hard, I think, and it didn't sound quite right, but at the same time, it wasn't horrible. I want you to think this was like a disaster vocally. Looks good though. So even though we criticize, I think this is a very daring staging, and it's quite interesting. That it needs to nail it. And it's not, they haven't done that yet, but they still have time to fix it. Even though they're done with the individual rehearsals, the producers and all the camera people will still fix some of these things, and they still have another coming up. And this would not necessarily be a make or break situation either. I think it comes maybe across a little clumsy at certain points, but nevertheless, I do think it looks great, because he wears this yellow little jacket, and then he takes it off at some point. We'll go shirtless, and then the ending, especially with the third run through, all the fireworks and pyro goes really big. It looks actually really, really cool, and it's just, I think it'll be even better. To be fair, also, when you have 3 run throughs, of course, such an energetic song, it's not going to be pitch perfect. So I understand that, but hopefully once he only do it once, he'll be a lot better. That we kind of addressed it already, Roy, but just to summarize, what needs to change? What needs to be improved upon?
Yeah, basically just the camera angles. Then make sure that it doesn't look as clumsy as you said. And I think that is mainly what they can focus on. Lauri needs to make sure that he punches the vocals. but that is not necessarily they can work on. I mean, he just needs to make sure he delivers on the night, and that is that. Yeah, a few camera angles here and there. I hope they will work on that overnight, and like maybe for the dress rehearsal. But besides that, this insanely complex staging, because it is like 25, 30 balloons or something. It is very difficult to set that up, to nail the concept, and they're doing an okay job. They just need to nail those final little camera shots to really make sure it is completely nailed down, and then it will come across as a really cool performance, in my opinion.
Yep, exactly, and they are on the right track, because it feels like every single run through was better than the one before. And while there's still room for improvement, I feel as they will be there by the night, by the time it really, really counts. Focus on the vocals. That is the most important thing, especially if you want to win over juries. And consistency is very important. And get those camera shots, especially walking through the balloons there. And there was one other issue they point out, because once some of the balloons go up, they did go up in random order. It seemed kind of like, okay, why going 2 up and then only 2 seconds later, that kind of thing. So I assume that was supposed to go up at the same time, not in random order. If that should go up at the same time is what I'm thinking. So fix that. Those are the things that come to mind. Let's see the full package come Tuesday. I cannot wait for you to see it. It looks pretty cool. Looks pretty darn cool. Watch the clip that's available to you and let us know. Do you feel also crowded on there, or you think it's just? What are your thoughts? I want to hear them below in the comment section. And the two of us will see you in the next video.